Want to start saving money and energy at home? Eversource, proud sponsor of Energize Connecticut, is here to help with our in-home energy service. For just $50, our certified technicians will give you a unique home energy score and conduct on-the-spot services. Plus, you'll get rebates and incentives on efficiency upgrades, like improved insulation to stay comfortable and save money all year round. So don't wait. Go to eversource.com to get started today. Paid for by a charge on customer energy bills.
This is MuggleCast, episode 18 for December 4th, 2005. This week's show is sponsored in part by GoDaddy.com. Get your own piece of the internet and save money along the way. For a limited time, GoDaddy.com is offering a new domain name transfer or renewal for just $1.99 with every new non-domain product you buy. Choose from hosting, website builders, email accounts, and much more. Plus, take an additional 10% off any order simply by entering Muggle, that's M-U-G-G-L-E, in your card at checkout. So visit GoDaddy.com and save big. Well, let's get to this week's show. Hey everyone, we're back this week again for another episode of MuggleCast. I'm Ben.
Shane. I'm Andrew.
Sims.
I'm
Kevin.
Steck. I'm Laura.
Thompson. I'm Micah. Somebody's got to do it.
Tannenbaum.
Woo! Wow,
that was interesting.
I had no idea we were capable of producing such a fine intro. Yeah. Great job, guys.
That was just
wow.
that was unintentional.
It
even.
was.
Okay.
Improv.
Well, before we go any further, Micah, take it away.
Hello, hello, hello from the House of Hufflepuff. Hello, Ben Shane. Hello, Ben Shane. Hello, Andrew Sims. Hello, everyone. Hi, Eric, Kyle. Okay, here we go. Hello, everyone. Sue Upton here with your Harry Potter news recap for you. Author J.K. Rowling has revealed in an upcoming radio interview that she intends to write another children's novel when she finishes writing the Harry Potter series. This book would be aimed at younger children, and this is one of many things she's considering writing for in the future. You can hear this interview, which will be broadcast on Saturday, December 10th on BBC Radio 4. Our favorite author has also written a foreword to a new book where she discusses her life in poverty and as a single mother in Edinburgh, as she struggled to make ends meet before she was discovered, as it were, and she found new fame and fortune with her Harry Potter novels. She writes very movingly about her life as a single mom and how things were very difficult for her and her daughter in those early days. Turning to film news now, there are some high-res photos from the Entertainment Weekly photo shoot with the trio of Dan Radcliffe, Emma Watson, and Rupert Grint. You can also see a great video clip of Dan Radcliffe as he appeared on Sunrise program where he talks about the bathroom scene and the filming in the movie. It's very good and it's very funny, so be sure and check that out. Also, we learned that Lucius Malfoy has now made the Forbes Fictional 15 of the 15 richest fictional characters. Draco's dad comes in at number 15 behind Santa Claus and Ebenezer Scrooge. It's a very funny article, and you should be sure to read that one. Finally, in book news, we've learned the Japanese and Finnish Half-Blood Prince release dates for the books. The Japanese one will be out on May 16th, and the Finnish edition of the book will be out on March 16th. So for all your news and information, please be sure to check out the website daily for all your Potter news and needs. Now, go Hufflepuff! No, just kidding. And now on with the show. Sorry, Ben. I couldn't resist. Okay. So for all your Potter news and needs, please be sure to check out the website, which is updated daily. And now on with the show. How's that for a proper end? But go Hufflepuff! Yay! Can't resist. Okay. I'm done. Bye. Love you. Mwah.
Whoa, that didn't sound quite like you, Micah. What's going on here?
Yeah, what was that?
I don't know. So let's see.
We were invaded by Pottercast.
Probably people have no idea what the joke is about that because nobody listens to Pottercast.
Oh,
Ooh.
that was low.
Oh, that was a burn.
So, Micah, what happened there? You showed up on Pottercast last week for some reason, and then it was funny because I was listening to Pottercast and I had no idea you'd done that with them. Melissa was on the show. And she was saying, "Oh no! The MuggleCast boys stole Sue," and I was like, "I didn't know we stole Sue, but okay, that's cool." So, then you showed up. Good job.
Yeah.
That's what your
Well,
second
actually,
appearance.
guys,
on
I have a
I appreciate it. You know,
guys, I have a
I was in the
secret.
holiday spirit, and I figured they needed the ratings boost. So
Oh.
I said, "What the
Aw,
heck?"
that was so
Aw,
nice
Micah,
of you.
Micah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Guys,
That was
guys,
nice
we have to
of
be
you,
honest here.
definitely.
The truth is, I had to bail Micah out of jail last week because he broke into the Pottercast studios. He kidnapped Sue. Yeah, Mike is in trouble. This is not looking good.
Well, thanks, Sue, for doing the
Send your
news for
donations
us.
to Micah Tannenbaum. Get him off to such criminal charges. Okay, well, Andrew, do we have any announcements this week?
Ben,
I'm in the dark here.
It's not a new episode of MuggleCast without a few announcements. We're going to start keeping these announcement areas shorter because people are like, hey, it takes you forever to get to the actual Harry Potter content. Well, you know what? I don't like Harry Potter. I like talking MuggleCast announcements. So, but anyway, first of all, we'd like to make an announcement that we've been getting so many emails about birthday announcements. Because on one episode I wish 2 people happy birthday, and we would love to announce happy birthdays to people, but we literally got over 300 birthday wishes, and I actually started writing them down when we got the first 20 or 30, and then I said, okay, we can't do this. So I'm sorry to everyone who's emailed. I wish all of you a happy birthday. I'm sure we all do.
Oh, sorry about that, Andrew, but I'm going to do a birthday announcement now.
Ugh.
Happy birthday to Marlise, who turned 17. She was one of the first people at the live podcast. She showed up there at 8:30 in the morning. She was there before we were, so it's probably the last birthday announcement you're hearing on the show in a long time, but I just really had to say this because she's one of our devoted fans who showed up that early in the morning, and she was the first one to greet us.
Yeah, she deserves it.
Happy birthday.
Then moving along, yeah, I've been getting a lot of emails lately about catching up on the challenge at staff stuff. We have been so busy with this podcast and between, like having a life that it's really hard to keep up with all your challenge entries. We appreciate them all, and I have been looking at them all, and I will turn the Halloween ones into a gallery. I still haven't gotten that done.
Yeah, and I'm telling you guys, every week it seems like the show just keeps getting closer and closer. I finish editing, and then the next day we're recording another
practically.
one. And it's great fun,
It's
but
true,
it just these weeks keep speeding
I
up.
know. And then finally, as promised, we finally have our demographic information. We actually got some cool stats. I'm really happy how these turned out. Let's just run a couple real quick. These are the people who filled out the listener survey and told us a little info about ourselves.
Thank you. You can still do that, by the way.
Yeah.
You can still fill out the listener survey.
Yep.
If you
Yep.
wish.
So, okay, guys, get this. Genders, 74% female, 26% male.
Wow, I
A
am
huge
totally
female
shocked.
majority.
Absolutely astounded by
Well,
that.
I sense sarcasm there. I don't know. It's pretty interesting. I sort of pictured that too. I mean, that was basically the same percentile at the Live in New York City podcast.
Oh, and also, some of you who took the survey did listener satisfaction.
Oh yeah, we got
and
some
you
great
gave
grades.
overall, our podcast is rated 8.87 out of 10, which is pretty remarkable. So we're pretty close to 9 out of 10. Our highest rating was for, I believe, it was for the hosts. We got 9.0. Oh, excuse me. Overall quality was 9.12, but for the host, we got a 9.09 rating. So
And the lowest,
good job, guys.
ironically, was website design, an 8.85. But hey, guys, it's cool.
We're working on
because
that.
we're working on something
Ironically.
that's gonna fix that. I'll leave it at that. Woo. Okay, and then another thing that we found interesting. Number of times listening to each podcast, 73% of you listen to it one time, but 20% of you listen to it 2 times, 3% of you listen to it 3 times, and 4% of you listen to it more than 3 times.
That's
That's pretty
devotion.
remarkable.
Yeah.
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 Oh, and also,
That's pretty crazy.
most of you listen to the entire episode of the show. 88% of our listeners listen to the entire episode. 10% listen to 75%, and 1% listen to at least half of it. So this is really remarkable, considering that it's an hour long, and most of you are able to sit through what some people would consider a bore fest.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
love getting these stats, so if you guys could continue filling out the survey, that'd be great. A total of 4,060 people filled it out, which is a good response. I'm feeling it.
So I'm hoping that you guys feel the same way, that you like hearing information about, well, who else is listening to the show, and that type of stuff.
Yeah. I think so. Oh, and then the age range. 51% of you were under 18. 31% of you were between the ages of 18 and 24. 13% of you were in the ages between 25 and 34. 4% of you were in the ages between 35 and 44. And 1% of you were in the ages between 45 and 54. Which makes me wonder, what about the people older than 54? Because I know we have a couple listeners older than 54. I guess they
Pretty
just
cool.
didn't fill it out. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, that was
do you
fun.
have any other announcements that we have?
Yeah,
Yes, it
Kevin, you have a
was.
little announcement?
Yes, it's actually regarding the book reviews we promised to be doing. Laura and I will be reading a book by next episode, yes. By popular demand, His Dark Materials, The Golden
Yay.
Compass.
I'm really excited.
And
Phillip
who is
Pullman.
that by, Laura? Phillip Pullman. So if you want to pick
Brilliant.
it up and
Brilliant
get a
author.
head start on us,
Okay.
well, we shall see. I haven't read any of his work, so.
I've heard of
Okay.
that
Yeah.
book.
So yeah, next episode we will have the review.
Oh, and also, Micah, are you here? Micah?
I'm here. I'm still
Okay, Micah, don't you have an update about the transcription position too? Before we move on.
Yeah, it's been filled.
Has it?
I'd say about it has. 150 people or so sent in applications. So thanks to everyone who sent it in. But Allie Foll is our new transcription assistant, I guess is the best way to put it.
Excellent.
And she's going to be
Okay.
working on it. She actually worked on episode 17 and did a good portion of it. So
Right. Maybe we'll get her on the
she's
show,
already
too.
doing a good job.
Awesome. Yeah.
I have some very interesting things here. I'm just going to share real quick. There were two things that were really funny that came out when I got some emails for this position. And, because in the posting, I said that you should be able to distinguish between people's voices. That's obviously something that's important. And a lot of people email me back and they said, yeah, I'm really good at distinguishing between people's voices. And they were being very serious when they said this, particularly Laura and Jamie's.
Laura and Jamie's.
I wonder why
Girl
that is.
American
I have
versus
no clue.
boy British.
Oh, speaking of Jamie, by the way, people, everyone is wondering where Jamie is, and he will be back from December.
He dropped
December
off the face of the
14th
earth.
through about mid-January.
Well,
so we'll be able to have Jamie back on the
he-
show.
Yeah,
He
we're
said
not
not
making
to promise.
any guarantees.
He's trying his
but,
best.
We know you all want him on. We keep getting emails. Frankly, I'm a bit annoyed by them, of all the emails that we get asking for him back. So,
You should be asking for more Kevin. You know?
Actually, we get emails asking for you to go away.
Oh, thanks a lot. Ben.
yeah. No, but
I'll cut that.
yeah, our bud Jamie will be back. He misses doing the show.
And
He really does. College
Yeah.
keeps him busy.
Okay, well, I think it's time to get down to the nitty-gritty about old Molly Weasley. Right, guys?
Right?
Oh, I like your reaction. Show me some real enthusiasm. Jeez. Okay, so
Lay it on us.
what do we know about Molly?
A couple
Okay,
of facts
go
we
ahead.
know about Molly Weasley. She is of pure blood. She has several children: Bill, Charlie, Percy, Fred, George, Ron, and of course, Ginny,
I mean,
as we like to call
Ginny.
her around
Ginny
the
Wizzy.
group here. Yeah, Ginny Weasley, Ginny whatever. They
Ginny.
got the Weasley family is the pet owl, or the family owl, Errol. She did attend Hogwarts. Her first year was in 1961, and her house was Gryffindor.
No surprise
Of
there.
course. The Boggart, how do you pronounce it? Bogart?
Bogart, I think.
Boggart.
Her
Boggart.
her
is how I
Boggart
pronounce
is her family all dead. We always hear about how she fears that the most. Her skills.
Well, actually, what's really ironic about when you see her Boggart, the one person who isn't there is Ginny. Isn't that weird?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Ginny doesn't show up.
Yeah,
in
but
the
Yeah,
Boggart.
it was still.
wasn't
Yeah,
it
it was
still
still
switching?
changing.
I know,
Yeah.
but Harry was dead before Ginny, and I don't know.
Mm.
Let's see.
We'll get to that.
So
in a
of
few
course those
moments.
facts are brought
Yeah.
to you by the HP Lexicon. lexicon.org.
Excuse me, that's hp-lexicon.org.
Yeah.
And also, Molly Weasley was particularly impressed by Gilderoy Lockhart. Say that 5 times fast. Yeah, and she's a big Gilderoy fan.
Quite
I'll never say that word
smitten
again,
with
but
him.
Well, I don't think she is
yeah.
anymore.
But yeah, but and Molly's also a member of the Order of the Phoenix, and I think that's basically all the information that's pertinent about Molly. She has red hair, in case you didn't know.
Really?
Oh, and her birthday is October 30th.
So here's the typical riddle question. What would her patronus be?
Her Patronus.
What? So here's the typical question. What would her patronus be?
I really don't know. That is a really good question, though.
That's
Yeah.
a good question. I don't think we have enough information about her to really formulate.
It would be something motherly.
what it
Something
would be.
motherly, definitely.
It would be.
Yeah, it'd be a koala bear or a
A
kangaroo.
koala bear?
Koala bear.
Koala bears are mean.
Yeah,
Where
koala
did
bear.
you?
What about a kangaroo, though? A kangaroo carries around the babies in the pouch and stuff.
How about just a bear?
A bear?
Bears are mean.
Oh, that
Micah.
could possibly.
How about a
bear,
fluffy
that's not
pink
bad.
bunny?
No, that's
don't
Mr.
think,
Weasley.
Yeah. Okay.
No,
Well.
Mr. Weasley's definitely a rubber duck.
Yeah. Okay.
Rubber
You
duck.
guys want to go to the voicemails now? I'll say that.
No. we
I
gotta
think
do
we have
some
more
discussion.
questions. There's more questions.
Well, what is there to talk about, Molly?
No,
Weasley?
there are more questions that we had sent in, weren't there? Yeah, there are more.
There are.
Oh,
yeah,
they were sent
just,
to.
Oh, here, let me fix
yes,
this. Sorry.
Yes.
Which side are the Weasleys on? That's staring you right in the face. It's pretty obvious that Molly Weasley is a member of the Order of the Phoenix. She's Dumbledore's woman through and through. That's what I think.
For sure.
What? Now this is a good question. What is her specific job within the order?
That is a really good question.
Keeping the house clean. Seriously.
Definitely.
Well, I mean,
I don't know. Maybe we underestimate her position. Maybe we think, well, she couldn't help out that much, but
Well,
I don't know.
I think she
seems
does
to
a
be
lot
sort
of
a
manning the
powerful wizard.
headquarters
Which?
and such.
yeah.
Yeah, she's
Yeah,
like a protector.
basically.
Especially for, I know that a lot of people comment on her as a protector
Mhm.
of Harry, because she is always there for Harry, and she's the one who actually allows him to stay
Yeah.
at the house. You know, it seems like it's her authority to let him stay and not Arthur's. You know,
Right.
I'm sure they discuss it, but it seems like she's the runner of the
Yeah.
house, isn't it?
Definitely.
Yeah, and what she says goes.
Yeah, I look forward to seeing her reaction to finding out the truth about Snape.
Yeah, me too.
And hearing her talk to Harry for the first time. Hopefully she'll make a good appearance in HP Sev.
But do you think she's going to play a major
No,
role?
I'm just a side role, like
Yeah.
one of the bystander roles.
Wait, wasn't she there? Wasn't she there
Where?
after it all happened?
Oh, at
in
the funeral?
hospital
Oh.
wing?
Oh,
Yeah,
I'm
she
not-
was was there in the hospital, but we didn't really. Yeah, I mean
Get a
she
reaction.
was, upset, but no one's really. We haven't really seen too many of the characters' reactions to it, really. There's been no discussion between Harry and a lot of the other characters concerning Snape's betrayal, or that is a topic of much debate, but.
Oh yeah, we should do a show about that. By the way, have you guys done Snape yet?
No.
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 No, we haven't.
Okay,
We
next week's
discussed
Snape.
him a lot in.
Next week's Snape.
Okay.
I'm saying that now.
Snape it is.
Okay. Well, now that we've sort of hashed out who Molly Weasley is, what her role is in the series, let's see what questions you guys had.
Yo, dudes, this is Izzy from Oz, and I would like to know, in the first book, Sorcerer's Stone, there was a woman in Diagon Alley who Harry hears outside the apothecary. She's all like, 17 sickles an ounce, they're mad, raving about something on sale there. Now, not only is this strange, because 17 sickles are a galleon, but I believe this person is described like Molly Weasley, only Harry doesn't know her yet. I think that The reason whoever said this, 17 sickles, was because it sounds like a lot more money than a galleon, and if you can't afford a galleon, then that's pretty bad. Also, how do you think the Weasleys can afford all their stuff? They have things like the flying car, and their house really isn't that bad. How much do you think Arthur's job pays? And is Molly Weasley really unemployed? Thanks.
I really don't think it was her, just because it didn't sound like her talking from what I remember of the quote. it just didn't sound like Molly. I think she said something like 17 sickles for however much of whatever it is she was buying, and she was like they're mad or something like that, and it just didn't sound like
Right, but the thing is that the context that we've seen Miss Weasley in the books has been when she's around Harry, when she's trying to act like a mother.
Mm-hmm.
That's
and even
true.
though she may be acting, she may have seen like the real Molly Weasley come out. I mean, not the non-motherly type, the one who's just personally frustrated because, she says that's insane because they don't have that much money.
but
So
again, they've always been kind of, I wouldn't say secret, but they don't discuss their financial situation in public.
Yeah, but they do always say, I don't know if it's just the movies or if it's in the books too, but she always seems like she will always get by no matter what the financial situation is, like when they have to go to Diagon Alley
Really,
to get
the
all their
only
supplies.
person that I've heard that I remember talking about the Weasleys' financial situation is Ron, and it's always when he's complaining, like, I hate being poor.
Yep.
I don't really...
Well, no, actually, if you look at what Miss Weasley has said before, how we had to get your robes handed down, like in Goblet of Fire,
that's-
when
she
he got
mentions
the dress robes.
she mentions it in passing, but she never really, comes out and says we're poor.
I just
Well,
couldn't
I
really
think
see
the
her...
reason that they don't have
I don't
very
know,
much.
I just couldn't see her standing there talking about anything that would allude to...
I don't see her being aggressive at all towards anyone.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? About
Yeah.
money. So,
Well,
to be honest, I don't think it was her.
Well, what about the rest of the question, though?
Well,
Is she unemployed? What do you guys
Well,
think?
I think so.
I would say she's a housewife.
And
is what I'd say.
didn't Jo say on her site somewhere that she taught the kids before they went to Hogwarts? I seem to remember that she was
Yes.
teaching her
Yes.
children, so...
Well, that's almost like a housewife kind of
Yeah, I mean,
job.
but when you're homeschooling your kids, you don't really have time for a job, so I doubt that she is employed.
And also,
Laura knows all about
and also, I think that the
yes,
Weasleys,
Laura does.
the Weasleys would have a lot more money, say, if they only had 2 kids rather than having as many as they do, because Arthur, he works for the Ministry, and it's like a government position, and
Yep.
you think that would pay pretty
Yeah, but he
decently.
works
And the
he
problem
works
is
in the
that he
Muggle
has
department.
all these older kids he has to
And we know how
support,
Fudge
and-
feels about Muggles.
Yeah, I see what you're saying, but
Yeah, but
at the same
I-
time,
Yeah.
I could
If they-
seriously see Cornelius Fudge jacking Arthur's pay because A, he's not a fan of Muggles, and B, he knows that Arthur loves Muggles. So I could totally see him giving him a raw deal. I really could.
but we don't know if it's Fudge who decides the salaries.
I'm
There-
sure
there's some type of
he has
panel,
input.
You know. Okay, but it's not like the president. It's not the president of the United States doesn't decide how much money the members of his cabinet make.
No.
You see, those are set by a sort of parliament, maybe the Wisengamot or whatever. But I'm just saying that even just because
Yes,
he
but
doesn't
he has
like
influences on
Muggles,
those
Well-
who determine
who set that pay, yeah. But at the same time, I don't think that even if he did make a decent salary, that he would still be in any better
I think they'd still
situation
be
money-wise.
pretty tight.
They have so many children that exactly.
there's so many expenses that they just have to be able to find a way to pay for everything. And look at their house. It's has to be magically expanded. It wouldn't hold together if it was a normal house like the houses we live in. So
Yep. And I mean, all the stuff that the Weasleys have, if you notice, has been repaired.
Mhm.
You know, like the car that Mr. Weasley has been fixed up by him and modified. So
Right.
I mean, you can go to any junkyard and get a car that won't drive, but you can fix it up. So I don't think that determines their money,
But
how much they're making.
Getting back to Molly Weasley's profession, I just think that she hasn't had the time to invest into anything. Because don't you think they would want more money? So
Yeah.
Molly's wanted to, but she's been held up with the kids, and then
Now
Ginny
the
got
order.
out, but then
Now
yeah,
she's got
right.
the order.
Right, so there's been no time.
Right.
And then when you think about it, Aunt Petunia, Malfoy's mother, we haven't really heard of jobs from them either. Like, what other women are there that J.K. Rowling has described jobs from them? I mean,
Malfoy,
Right, but in the end,
Narcissa.
but in the end, what we need to realize with this is that the Weasleys are a family that it's more than money that matters.
Exactly.
Yep.
So when it comes
Yeah.
down to it, it doesn't really matter how much money they're making, and it's sort of the model family that everyone wants to be a part of.
And I recall J.K. Rowling saying something about that. She was trying, I believe in an interview, she said that she was trying to portray that type of character, where material things really don't matter.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the entire family really isn't materialistic
No.
at all.
Okay.
So-
That's a sweet.
Izzy, I hope that answers your question. Next
Next one.
voicemail.
Hey guys, this is Mark from New York. Great job at the show. I was just wondering what you guys thought got Molly Weasley, and I guess Arthur too, into the Order of the Phoenix. I mean, I know they say at one point that they're blood traders because they are pure blood and are on Dumbledore's side, but that doesn't just mean you're in the Order. What got them into it?
Well, this is what I think. Dumbledore constructed the Order himself, meaning he put people in that position, and what better people to put in the position than the people that he knew and taught? I'm sure he had an impression of who the Weasleys were before he brought them into the Order, and I believe that he selected from the talented witches and wizards that were, in his opinion, good people, and I
That,
believe
Kevin,
that's how.
That's
Yeah,
definitely true too. But another thing would be is that he may have, may have been an open invitation. They've known Dumbledore for quite a long time, and they wanted to help out because you're either with Voldemort or you're against him. It's not.
Yep.
It's not the situation where it's
Well,
I'm sort of lukewarm about him, and it's either it's hot or cold, And they decided to join the Order because they felt it was the right thing
well,
to do.
also there are a couple of points. They weren't in the Order the first time. We don't really know why yet. Also, I think a big reason, especially for Molly to join the Order, is that her brothers were killed in the First War,
That's true.
and she wants to avenge
Also,
them.
Also, Mr. Weasley works at the
Yes.
Department of Ministries, so that's also a strategic position for the Order. So,
Well, also Harry too. I mean, perhaps Dumbledore thought to give them some sort of, I guess, even protection. Maybe he felt that they were susceptible
And they
to
are.
an attack, and putting them in the Order was a way to kind of protect them and keep them safe.
Definitely agreed.
Arthur's
Thanks for
Arthur's definitely the inside source for everything.
he is, yeah. He's that guy who sits in the corner and watches what's going on.
Yeah.
And gets attacked
it's
by
definitely
snakes
kind of
while he's doing it.
inconspicuous.
Yes.
Who thinks that the head of the misuse of Muggle artifacts office is going to be spying on you? Everyone probably thinks he's a lamer, and
Yeah.
it turns out that he's a double agent.
Yeah.
That's how it works.
Dude, he works with toasters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks for your question, Mark. But we got to move on.
Hi guys, this is Natalie from Stoke-on-Trent in the UK, and I'd just like to say first of all that I absolutely love the show. My question is, do you think that Mrs. Weasley was slightly overprotective of Harry in Order of the Phoenix? I mean, at the end of the day, he's not her son, and while she rightly feels very protective of him, she should really accept that she can't really boss him around like she does with her sons. And also, did you find her comment to Sirius about not being able to look out for Harry uncharacteristic? Thank you, and keep up the great work.
Absolutely not. I just feel that she realized that Sirius was sort of overstepping his bounds to an extent, where he was starting to treat Harry more like a brotherly type rather than being his godfather. And Mrs. Weasley recognized this and basically tried to put a stop to it before it went too far and before they were running out all night. In their animagi with Sirius in his animagus form, and so I really think that she wasn't being overprotective. That it was to the extent where she realizes Harry is a teenager. She realizes that he's not a grown adult. But at the same time, I do understand that Harry has been through a lot, and he deserved to know what was going on. But in terms of Sirius, I don't think it was too overprotective.
I also think that one of the reasons why Mrs. Weasley is so protective is that Dumbledore allows Harry to go there. And he does that under the condition that he will be looked after and cared for.
Mm-hmm.
So it's entirely her responsibility. Maybe she's not Harry's mother, but in this case, she's acting as
she's the closest
she's the guardian
thing he
of
has
Harry.
to a mother.
Exactly. And I mean, just imagine if something happened to Harry under Mrs. Weasley's nose.
Also,
You know,
I really think that there are points where I do feel she's overprotective of Harry, especially when he was asking what was going on with Voldemort. I think Harry had every right to know. However, that does make a lot of sense, what you said, Kevin, with her feeling that he is her responsibility in a lot of ways. And it is understandable that she is overprotective at points. But I don't think that Sirius was totally incompetent.
Yeah, but I mean, I agree with Ben. Like, based on Sirius's previous activity, it shows that he's kind of an irrational
He
thinker.
definitely is.
And
oh yeah.
But I don't think that
and
he
he's
was
Molly.
totally inept.
Yeah, but Molly is already
Mhm.
a mother. I mean, she has all these children, so I think it's
And I think
basically
sorry.
all of what you guys saying. It was a natural. No, it's all right. It was a natural kind of reaction to feel the way she does for Harry.
I think
And I don't think that she meant it as almost a serious comment. She meant it as a threat kind of thing. I think she intended it to be a wake-up call to him.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
I also think there's
From what she was
a little bit of
observing.
rivalry going on there. I mean, here she'd been sort of Harry's mother figure since he was 11, and then all of a sudden Sirius comes along, and I think she feels like he took it away from her, in a way. So there could be a little bit of that going on.
Okay, well, I think we've pretty much discussed Molly Weasley. For those of you who want to hear about other stuff, well, this part of the show's for you. Okay, Kevin, roll the first non-Molly Weasley voicemail.
Hey MuggleCast, it's Meredith, and I had a question about what you thought about Chris Columbus. He said that he wouldn't mind coming back to direct like the 6th or the 7th movie, so I was wondering if you think that would be good for the Harry Potter movies. Especially after a movie, he just finished Rent, and from what I gathered, like, I thought the movie was amazing, but from other kids at my school, it seemed to be one of the movies that you either absolutely loved or absolutely hated. So, I was just curious, so thanks for your time, and hooday and peace out.
Well, thanks, Meredith, for your question. Chris Columbus, I thought he did a really good job with the first 2 movies because we talked about this in past shows where he had basically had to set the foundation for the entire series. And he had to include as much as possible because we see that the books start to balloon out and things start getting cut. And the first 2 movies are probably the most true to the book, the most true to the characters. And even though some people don't think they're very good movies because the trio is still basically coming into their own, learning better acting skills and things of that sort, I think if he was going to come back for movies 6 and 7, he would see what the other directors have done with the series, compare it to what he did, and make the adjustments based off that, and perhaps make a better movie, something that no one would actually expect from him.
Well, I think that he would be an excellent director for the 7th movie. And the reason being is that, as you said before, the Harry Potter movies have moved off from a lot of content base and moved to being an artistic movie, where it doesn't necessarily follow the plot of Harry Potter to the T like the original 2 movies. And I think that what better director to finish up the series than someone who's going to wrap up all of the loose ends that have been formed by the other directors. Although it may not be as good of a movie for those who are just coming into the series, it's going to be the final closure for those who are fans of the series.
Yeah, okay, I don't think he should come back to direct any more of the films. Sorry to anyone who's felt that way, because, look, you compare the first two movies to movies 3 and 4, and there's such a difference in the way that it was presented. I think that Chris would want to turn it back into the way he had them, because that's the way that he does his films, and that's the way he does his Harry Potter films. He's done 2, so we could say that. I mean, if we brought him back, I just think it would be taking a step back.
I agree.
I don't know
I
about
agree.
that. I
I
let me hear your
don't
defense,
at all.
Melissa. I mean, not Melissa.
Oh, now
Oh,
I'm
and
Melissa.
Laura.
Okay. No, the reason that I wouldn't want to see Chris Columbus come back is because he tends to direct much lighter films, and I don't think that movies 6 and 7 need to be light. I really feel.
What about?
Like I said, it's
Hold on a second. What about David? What about David Yates? David Yates he's never even
Hey,
directed a movie. He's
I'm
mostly
apprehensive
done
about that.
Made for TV
I'm
stuff.
apprehensive
whoever
about
said
that.
we were confident
Yeah.
about that.
Yeah.
Oh, my flawed assumption. Sorry about
Yeah,
that.
well, I mean, you don't know what to expect, and once they start filming in February, then we're gonna start. We'll see pictures.
Yeah,
We'll see
and-
where they're filming.
Honestly, this is just me, but I've never found Chris Columbus to be terribly creative. That's just my perception. I'm not saying that everyone
well,
should feel like that, but
I mean,
Well, in the
Yeah,
first two
but-
films, look what he was given to work
Yeah,
with.
he wasn't
there
given
wasn't too
anything.
much to be creative
no, he
with.
wasn't given
Exactly.
good material to work with, per se.
yeah. Well, I mean, you got to give him credit for starting the whole thing out, as we
I
mentioned
do,
on
I
the
do.
previous show.
But what I'm afraid of is that the director that they're going to choose for 7 is going to be a director much like Alfonso, who focuses more on the artisticness of
Well,
the movie.
I think
and
Alfonso.
leave the story so that people are like, this is very
I
disappointing.
think that Alfonso
what just
focused
happened.
more on the
You're-
tone.
You're one of the 3 people that thought
I
that.
think he focused way more on the tone of the story, really. And in a lot of respects, I think that focusing on the tone and being true to that is a lot more important than getting every detail from the story.
Yeah, but at the same time, if you leave out too much, you're
agree.
letting the people
Definitely.
who have followed you
But
through the...
no, I got an email from someone from Universal Studios this week, and they told me that they've been listening to the podcast quite a bit, and they said from a movie-making perspective that it's not really, when you're taking a book to a movie, it's not really your job to basically include every detail. It's your job to convey the idea, which I agree that the directors all to this point have conveyed the idea of the movie, what the movie's supposed to be about. The first movie, all the movies sort of contain the same central theme, but just different twists on it, things of that sort. And I think that throughout the entire series so far of movies, all 4 of them have done a very good job. Each director's put their own little twist on it and put their own little, basically made it their own world, and they've done good jobs. I don't see what problems you guys have with it until you get down and start overanalyzing it. And I know there's no such thing as overanalyzing, but
I think I'm just a typical Harry Potter fan who fears that the series will be destroyed by some crazy director.
See, and I think
You know?
the
Right, but
movies
right,
are
but you haven't
intended for
even
the
seen-
fans, really. And I think that they expect that you are walking into the theater knowing the story. I think that's the reason behind so many
that's
of
not
the
necessarily
that-
true.
well,
they would not. They
well,
would,
that's what-
Warner Brothers wouldn't make a movie if that was the case. I know they're making movies. It's meant to satisfy the fans, and it's meant to satisfy the average
Mhm.
person. If the average person on the street wants to go out and see a Harry Potter movie or see a movie that's plain,
Yeah,
it
but they're
doesn't have to
depending
be
on
a
the
group of
fact
Harry
that
Potter
there are
lovers
so
in the
many
theater.
Harry Potter fans.
Speaking of which, guys, there was actually an article in my school newspaper regarding Goblet of Fire, and the last paragraph did pretty well to sum it up. And I quote, who is this? I quote Ted Blake. Though the movie is still a
Ted.
must-see
Good
for
old Ted.
fans of... Yes. Though the movie is still a must-see for fans of Harry Potter book series, Muggles unfamiliar with Hogwarts, house elves, or Hermione should bring along a Rowling fan to talk them through the plot holes.
Yeah, you would go into it confused.
Oh, I took
Exactly.
someone who is a complete Harry Potter virgin, apart from the fact that she's seen the first 3 films. She's never picked up any of the books in her life, and she was so confused by Goblet of Fire. She walked out, and she was just like, what did we just see?
And I remember I took a friend to see Prisoner of Azkaban, and it was the same thing. He didn't like the film because he was like, okay. He flew off in a broom, crashed into the screen, and that's all I can remember.
And that is very similar to what Laura is saying. With it's for the fans. You know, the movies up until now have been very fan based, where a person who hasn't read the series ends up being confused by the movies.
I don't think WB thinks about the fans first. I think they think about making it appeal to as many people as possible.
Yeah, but I mean, think of how many millions read the books. I mean, you can't ignore the fans. Especially
here's
in
the
Harry
thing.
Potter.
You put the word Harry Potter in the front of a title of a film, and every fan is going to go and see it. Warner Brothers automatically knows that. But then you also want to get the people who aren't the fans going to see the movie. So they're trying to appeal to them first because they know these fans are going to go see it.
That's why
it says Harry Potter.
I mean, come on, look at the promotional pictures. Look at how they make the characters look. They're trying to appeal to people who are not fans by making them look, I guess you could say, prettier, better looking than they really are
Alfonso started
for
that.
example,
in the books.
Hermione. For example, Emma Watson isn't what Hermione really looks like because she's hot.
I get so annoyed with that because in all of the promotional ads, she looks like a model. And Hermione's not a model.
Because you know what? Perfect example. Ben Shane.
Yeah,
Guess
they're
how many
trying
times
to get.
You've seen the movie.
They're trying to
83 times.
They're getting the Ben Shanes of the world to go, wow, that girl's hot. I'm gonna go see this movie now.
Yeah.
That's what they're doing.
Exactly.
At least you admit it.
You went to see the film 83 times, right?
Well, not only that, I have about every Emma Watson picture ever in creation on my download on my hard drive. And I'm not a creepy stalker person.
Yeah, right.
Seriously.
Right, Ben.
No, but I just think Warner Brothers is trying to appeal to the mass audience before they appeal to the fans because.
But have they accomplished that yet?
I think I don't know. Well, I think the reviews are pretty good, and most of the critics aren't diehard Harry Potter fans. So, I don't know. And then they also consider money and time. It's,
Yeah. Well, in the end, at least I think that he would be a good director for the 7th movie, but it may not be the best movie, just that it would. I trust him to include all the information.
So you want to see him come full circle from the first to the last movie?
Right.
It would be nice because I mean, that's what a lot of people credit Chris Columbus for, keeping the movies real to the books. So if people want to put that trust in him, then again, book 7 could be 2,000 pages, and then they're going to have to cut some stuff.
The movie that I'm really worried about is movie 6 because the director's gonna have a hard time jumping back and forth into the Horcrux scenes, into the pensive. That's the movie that's good. I think would be the hardest to direct to this point. Would you guys
just
agree?
the whole scene where Dumbledore dies. It's gonna be really hard not to make it seem cheesy, like him flying off the tower.
Well,
Agreed.
I don't.
I think that'll get cut.
No, you're keeping that.
No, you're not.
Well, they didn't make the they didn't make the Cedric scene look.
No,
cheesy,
they did a good job with that. They did a good job with
that's
that.
That's what I was going to say, but I'm not a man yet. So
before you squeaked.
I'm a man.
Yeah. Thanks.
I'm a real man.
Thanks, Meredith. That question really sparked a pretty lively discussion.
I love
there.
talking about the movies.
But
Yes.
there are other questions, other voicemails. Roll the next clip, Kevin.
Hi, my name is Eric Peterson, and I listen to your show religiously. I have 2 questions for you. In the first year, why do you think Malfoy tried to befriend Harry? His family would have hated him because he brought the downfall of Lord Voldemort. Do you think that this was an early plan to assassinate Harry? Thanks, and I love your show.
Analysis. Don't
He
steal
did.
my
Well,
analysis.
if we go by the movie standard, Malfoy gave Harry the chance to come on to the dark side. And that would have been a whole different ballgame, I think, because I think Malfoy could have easily persuaded Harry to turn into a dark side
I don't
lover.
agree.
Death Eater.
Yeah.
I don't agree.
Yeah, he would. You know
No,
it.
Harry's a much stronger character than that.
Yeah, because of his friends. If he wasn't friends with Ron and
No, but
Hermione.
see, we had this discussion during the Draco cast. He didn't like Draco when he originally met him at Madame Malkin's.
Yep.
That's true.
But at the same time, I think that he was trying to befriend Harry, knowing what Harry is. I think he was being more manipulative than.
And right, and by the same token, you look at the fact that that Voldemort tried to convince Harry, we can bring back your mother. And all
Yep,
that.
exactly.
And it's just because the reason they're doing that is because they know that Voldemort knows that this kid is the chosen one to an extent, and that basically we need this kid on our side, or it's going to end up he could eventually be my downfall.
Yeah,
you know?
and as for Malfoy's family hating Harry, not a chance. If Harry had joined Malfoy, I think they would have opened Harry with open arms.
Yeah, they would have been all over
because they knew the importance of it. So.
Right, there's no guarantee at that time that Voldemort's going to come back.
Exactly.
So why not get the next best thing on
Although,
their
do
side?
you think Draco's dad told Draco to try to become friends with Harry?
It
so
wouldn't
down the
surprise me.
road-
It would not surprise me in the slightest. If he at least said try to get close to Harry Potter, it wouldn't surprise me at all. That's the type of thing Lucius would try to do.
But I don't know. I think he would have tried more than just the one scene where it's,
Yeah, but
like in the
Draco's
movie, he
lazy.
says.
We know that. And he takes
know,
offense to people who don't agree with him automatically and don't follow him,
Yeah, well, because he learned it all from his dad.
Exactly. His arrogance definitely gets the best of him.
When it comes to his father, his father sort of has a lot of control over him. So if his father told him to do this, I think he would. So I'm not really convinced that Draco's dad said, "Go befriend the Potter boy," or else, because he maybe it sort of happened in passing, or Draco realized the importance himself. But besides that, I don't really see how it relates to his dad. Thanks, Eric.
Yes, thank you.
Next voicemail.
Hi, my name is Michael Panzica, and I'm from Rochester, New York. And before I ask my question, I just wanted to say that I personally thought that the yeah thing at the live podcast in New York City at the premiere was really, really funny. So stop making fun of them, guys. And anyways, my question is that after watching Goblet of Fire, I personally thought that they didn't really show Cho and Cedric's relationship that well. Because in the fifth book, we all know that Harry tries to date Cho, and there's a big conflict between them and him bringing up Cedric. So I wanted to know what your guys' personal thoughts was on that, and if you thought they showed a good enough job of those two. Thanks.
The point of this movie was they had to get to the beefy parts.
Yeah.
Voldemort, the Triwizard Tournament, Voldemort coming back, and things of that sort, because they didn't really have time to display a lot of the subplots, like I've said in the past. They didn't have time to develop the Cho Harry thing, and there's something up because the way she sort of eyeballed him, gave him a flirtatious look, and then they bumped into each other. I'll go this way. No, you, me. They're sort of there on that scene where they're up in the castle. And stuff.
I think that whole area of the book is another victim of the.
The conversion to movie.
Yeah. Oh, sorry.
I don't
Michael.
see much happening with Harry and Cho in the fifth book. Or fifth movie, I should. Fifth movie.
Yeah, that probably could completely get cut.
Yeah, they already bombed
because it doesn't
on
really.
the fourth movie, so.
Yeah,
It's
but
due. That ain't coming back. Yeah.
You know that they're gonna have the whole part with Harry and Cho in the room of requirement. You know that's gonna happen.
That'll probably happen, but I don't know about the date they have.
Yeah, that'll probably
in
get
Hogsmeade. I don't think
cut.
that.
Yeah.
Put it. But I definitely, speaking of this whole Harry Potter romance stuff, I definitely want to see the relationship between Harry and Ginny happen in the movie 6, and I think that they have to start sort of building that in movie 5, where Harry starts noticing her more, where she's no longer just a little girl.
Do you think Steve
Rather
Cobbs
than
is looking
right
ahead
now.
to the
Clovis?
Whatever. Do you think?
I hope
first
do you
of
think
all,
Steve?
first of
wait,
all,
let
he
me start
need-
that again. Do you think
Steve
Steve
Clovis didn't even-
is looking ahead to the future books for?
Well, I think the problem is, Andrew, that you don't even know who's the screenwriter for the fifth movie.
Yeah, I
It's
thought
not
he
even Steve
left.
Clovis. It's Michael
Yeah.
Goldenberg.
It's who?
But Steve Clovis will return to write movie 6. He's already signed up for all that. He talked to Warner Brothers about it, so he's going to return to do the screenplay for the 6th movie. But the person doing it for the 5th movie is Michael Goldenberg.
Ooh, sorry, I'm not up on my screenwriters.
Well, you
Well,
should
well, the
be.
screenwriter is one of the most important parts.
So the 5th movie may be sort of an outlier, so to speak, in comparison to the others, because Steve Clovis may do the rest of the series except movie 5, and I'm anxious to see how it turns out without having the person who wrote the previous.
He might try to
movies.
emulate his style, but it won't. It won't
I can
ever
see
be
that happening,
exactly
just
the
to
same.
maintain. Right, just they want to maintain some iota of consistency throughout the films to the extent where it's not going to alienate the audience. Where it's, oh my gosh, what did this guy do?
Mm-hmm.
You know, because we sort of got used to Clovis' style, where we sort of know things that he's going to leave in the very important parts. He's going to leave in the key dialogue, and some of you may not be very pleased with him, but personally, I think he's
Yeah,
done a
I
decent
agree.
job.
Yeah.
But it's not just him who's making those decisions for the entire movie. Warner Brothers is telling him, okay, you have this much time, you have this much money, you know.
Right, and J.K. Rowling has to approve all of this.
Yeah.
Well,
too.
they run it by
I'm
her.
sure Joe's not going to let she's not going to let them massacre her work.
No.
I'm pretty sure.
Too bad we don't know her thoughts on the movie yet.
Yeah.
Still haven't gotten any official word.
Yeah.
Joe.
Although,
Joe, email
Yeah.
me. J.K. Rowling, email me, bennettstaff.moonlight.com.
Right.
Yeah.
Tell me what's up.
Right.
oh, and sorry I didn't return your message the other day. I forgot to give you a call back. I'll get back to you later this week.
Okay, guys. Well, I think that that pretty much sums up the voicemails. If you want to send in a voicemail, send it to voice@staff.mugglenet.com.
Also,
Have no fear, the show is not over yet. The show is not
well,
over
also
yet.
a mention of the voicemails. If you have it in different audio formats, send it. I can convert. It's not a big deal.
You
This has
have
been-
just
Okay,
asked
that's
for
fine.
it, Kevin.
Kevin's technical note of the day.
You're gonna get like
yes, my
10
technical
million
note of the day.
random voicemails that you're gonna
Og
have to
Vortis.
convert.
I have software that can open all of it.
I'm here.
Oh,
Trust me.
I
It's
feel
very
so
legal.
inferior
Backwards compatible.
One thing that
Okay,
we haven't
guys.
had the chance to do yet is ask Laura her thoughts on Goblet of Fire.
Now. Oh, yeah.
What were they,
Yes.
Laura?
I came out overall.
Great, Laura. Anyway. No, I'm sorry.
I very much enjoyed the film. I didn't think the pacing was as good as previous films, but it's really the only thing I faulted on. I especially loved the graveyard scene. I thought that was so intense and so well done, and Ray Fiennes is brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
Laura, I have a question
Yes.
for you. Did you think Barty Crouch was good?
Senior? Senior?
Did.
Yeah.
Yeah, senior.
I
of
don't.
course, that's
Okay,
what was
I
saying.
don't understand what everyone's problem with him was. I didn't think he was.
Wait,
Oh,
wait,
you
wait.
sound
I
like
didn't-
a
Laura,
girl.
I didn't.
Yeah.
I didn't
Sound
think
like
he
you
was
do.
outstanding or anything, but I thought he was all right.
Did you listen to episode 17,
Oh.
Laura?
No, I never listened to
'Cause-
MuggleCast.
Cause, are you being sarcastic or
Yes, that
Me,
would be
yeah.
sarcasm.
you were supposed to laugh and be like, "Ha ha, Eric's a joke."
When Eric said, "Oh my gosh, Barty Crouch Jr. is a good guy."
Yeah, that's something that
So-
we should talk about later. But no, I didn't think that Barty, that the guy who played him, I don't remember.
Oh.
Anyway, I don't think that Barty Crouch Sr. was bad at all, really. I thought that he was fine. And I think that judging him on his high-pitched voice is a little stupid.
Well, I don't think that it's so much the actor as just a representation. People were thrown off by it because you don't imagine Barty Crouch as someone who has a high-pitched voice, and it just threw people off, and that's why they're so critical.
I thought he was good.
Yeah, it must
but-
have turned people off because you see him and he's always
Yeah.
got this scary look on his face. And hey, quick question: quick question. Goblet of Fire DVD. We found out earlier this last week. March 2006 reports one DVD site. Good marketing on Warner Brothers' half.
January.
Yeah, 5-ish months.
Well, for
Not
the
too
first
bad,
two
really.
movies, they released them, what, April after?
About 5 months later.
Yeah.
I don't know. It just seems.
It's
to me
Harry
that-
Potter. People are gonna buy it.
Well, of
Yeah.
course. That discussion went worse than I thought it would.
Good job, Andrew.
Way to start a discussion.
Yeah.
Speaking of DVDs, did you see?
Speaking of DVDs,
Not to give them an ad or anything, but Target has the Harry Potter series at $5.88 each.
Ooh,
really?
Wow.
Yes.
Go out and
when
buy
you go
it.
up to the register, say
Stores.
MuggleCast, and you'll get an extra 10% off any
Well,
order.
I can't guarantee it. Someone sent it in to me, so
Yeah,
you know.
because all of our
Confirm it
listeners
for
don't
us.
own Harry Potter anyway.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they're just
no
desperate
kidding.
to get rid of it. We'll send them.
Hey, if you have a bad
investigate
DVD,
things like that.
Well, before we close up the show, we have to get to our usual segments that we do each week. Last week I announced the first annual Ben's Top 10 list, and we have a doozy for you this week. This is a stellar Top 10 list. Just let me pull it up quickly. This is, that's amazing. The top 10 reasons why you know you're a Ben Shane
Oh,
fan.
brother.
Number
Ben,
10.
did you write those?
You've renamed your... No, I didn't. Someone sent it in, actually. Number 10, you've renamed your favorite teddy bear Ben. Number 9, you feel like clubbing Andrew over the head every time he tells Ben to shut up. I agree. You've added Ben to your AIM and Skype account, hoping you'll have a chance to chat with him. Number 7, you've laminated Ben's autograph and put it in a huge frame and hung it up on top of your bed. Number 6, you have a Ben Shane screensaver in your laptop. Number 5, you visit benshane.com at least once a day. By the way, there's a very good idea. Visit benshane.com. Number 4, you were saving money to go on a shopping spree to NYC with your friends, but you decided to go to Kansas instead. Number 3, you've developed a sudden hatred for Emma Watson. That's my favorite right there. I love you, Emma. Number 2, you just visited benshane.com again while writing this. And number 1, you asked Ben to sign one of the body parts I can't mention right now, and now you have it tattooed. Ben Shane's top 10 list, everybody. Woo! Okay.
Okay.
Spy on Sparks time.
So now that we're thoroughly bored,
2 people were entertained by that list.
Yeah, if
Oh, whatever.
Oh.
Everyone- that was a funny list.
You
that
know-
was a funny
low
list.
blow.
you guys are
Just so
and
you
I
guys
you guys
know
are
that-
misled. That's all I have to say.
How?
Ben?
How are we
Misled by Ben.
Oh, guys, I am totally a hottie. Just so everyone knows. Actually, I heard Emma Watson's a big Ben Shane
I'm sure
fan.
she is.
Okay.
Just kidding.
I saw you try to talk to her at the premiere.
try and get jumped by her bodyguards.
Yeah, they shot him.
Oh, whatever.
twice.
Yeah.
Okay, well, it's really time for Spy on Sparts. And this is a doozy this week.
This one's
Yeah.
way too
A
long.
very good Spy on Sparts. Okay, I'll read to you Emerson's away message. I've been invited as a guest on the Mike Peterson Show, which is a late-night talk show that's apparently sort of like Conan. It's being filmed in front of a live audience at 10 at Legends. They're expecting more than 150 people. You should go. Well, by the time you hear this, it'll be too late, but congrats to Emerson making his first television appearance on a talk show. Woo, go Emerson. I
Yeah.
guess.
And from what I know, that show is only on
Notre Dame.
NDTV.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Notre Dame TV. So if you want to watch it, move to Notre Dame.
Really.
Hopefully.
Which is another
Oh,
bad
you know
idea.
what? We should have found one of his fans from Notre Dame to record it for us. Get it online.
Oh
Yeah, that would have been good.
We should have. Oh, but by the way, people, I know we just did, I'm sort of jumping around here, but next week I'd like to do a top 10 list not related to me and not related to MuggleCast, so please send in a top 10 list related to something else related to Harry Potter, and that would be great. Okay, now it's time for Andrew's Listener Challenge.
Has
Has he thought of one yet?
I have my own listener challenge, which is to get the listener challenges done up online. Geez, I I don't have a listener challenge this week.
I have a good idea for listener
What?
challenge. Send in your own jingle. That's an intro to Andrew's listener challenge.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Send it to challenge@staff.mobile.com.
In fact, no, listen.
Some
Stop,
very
stop,
nice
stop.
music.
Not only just Andrew's listener challenge, but make little intros for all of them. Spy on Sparks, Ben's top 10 list of the week, Jamie's British joke of the day, Andrew's listener challenge. Make little intros, like little songs, like 10, 15
Hey, my
seconds.
news too, or Sue's news.
No, Micah.
Micah, we give you an intro every week. Isn't that good?
That's
you
true.
have
We give you a
background
lovely
music
intro.
during your thing.
That's true.
Our back.
You have your own
Micah,
theme
do we really
song.
have to, Micah? Do we have to downgrade your status from human to an elf? Seriously, you better watch it, Micah.
He has his own theme
Okay.
song. I mean,
Does he?
could he ask any more?
Okay.
Just let it be known that Mike has been on Pottercast more times than any of us have. We've been on 0. He's been on
Yeah.
twice now, right, Micah?
They like
Yep,
him better
twice.
than us.
He's our all-star.
No, it's actually
transcriber,
Melissa
everybody.
likes him better than us.
Well-
they have a thing going on now.
Yeah.
So.
Let's don't start the
Ooh,
Micah. Oh,
I
that
forgot.
makes sense. The man
And we're premiering a new segment this week. It's called the Las Vegas Minute. And every week we're going to talk about Las
Yes.
Vegas for exactly 1 minute. So that way we're going to have
Okay, Andrew.
like 30 minutes of Las Vegas talk. I love this new segment.
Okay, ready?
Okay.
The minute starts now. Okay, everybody, so Las Vegas. It's gonna
I can't
rock.
wait. Like,
What's
I'm actually
Wednesday?
going
What's
to this
July?
one.
yeah, Laura's coming.
did, yeah. Yep.
Who else is
I
coming?
think we're all coming, aren't
Mike
we?
is coming. Yeah, we're all going to be there. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's going to be a lot of fun.
Emerson.
Yeah.
Emerson.
Yeah, it's
Yep.
it's like
Oh, who cares?
7
Yeah,
months
no
away.
one cares about Emerson.
Yeah, actually, we've been getting a lot of emails about how people have already signed up to go just because of us. So, Lumos 2006
Sweet.
owes us big time.
Yes, they
No,
do.
no, they don't. No,
Yes, they do.
They do.
They're offering us the facility to host a live podcast. They don't owe us anything.
That's true.
It's a joint relationship that we have going. But anyways, Las Vegas, you be there. Anybody who's anybody is gonna be there.
Anybody
Hey,
who's
come
anybody
on.
in the West Coast. Oh, you know Haya from New York City? Even she's going to be there.
Awesome.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well,
T
minus
She
5.
already bought her tickets and stuff. I'm really excited. We can't wait. It's Las Vegas. It's July 29th to the 31st. So be there.
One.
Be there.
Oh, that wraps up the Las Vegas Minute for this week, everybody.
That was fun.
Well.
Yes, it was.
I can't wait for next week.
Thanks to everyone for listening to the show. It was very enjoyable. I think this episode is pretty good. Well, if you have any questions and suggestions, visit MuggleCast.com or MuggleNet.com/MuggleCast. You can subscribe to our feed on iTunes. You can view information how to contact us, and we're actually going to post our demographic information for you guys to look at, and that'll be cool. So you guys know what your fellow Potterites who are listening to the show. And so I think that concludes this episode of MuggleCast. Episode 18, we're getting up there, Andrew.
I know.
We're
Episode 20.
Yes, we are.
Episode 20. We're gonna have a. Actually, we have no
Another
plans.
party.
But and we decided we ain't taking no breaks. We're going straight through. We're gonna have a show on Christmas. We're gonna have a show on New Year's Day. It's gonna be a ton of fun.
It should be fun, yeah.
Definitely.
For
Okay,
Christmas, me and
guys,
Ben are gonna sing
well,
you too. Oh.
We're going to.
Okay.
So
beautiful.
So I'd recommend most of you skip that
Yeah.
episode unless you
In
want your
the
ears
Blown out by
bleeding.
crazy
of
YouTube fans.
Yeah.
American Idol's gonna call us, and they're gonna want us on. We'll see.
Definitely. Okay. Well, that wraps her up. I'm Ben Shane.
I'm
No, you
oh
gotta
yeah,
do it the
Andrew
right
Sims.
way.
I'm Kevin Steck.
I'm Laura Thompson.
And I'm Micah Tannenbaum.
Good night, everybody.
Goodbye. Andrew,
Bye.
say bye.
No.
Say bye, Andrew.
No.
Good night, everyone. Or good afternoon, or good morning, whenever you listen to this.
Good afternoon.
Okay.
At Starbucks, we've been connecting over coffee for the last 50 years. From knowing your order to getting to know you, you've made every day special. And because of that, we've learned that we're better together. So here's to you and the next 50 years.